4 o'clock, and I believe it's time for our session to begin. So welcome back, everyone, and welcome to those who are new here at Virtual Animators Master Lectures. We are so happy to have Len Simon back with us, and we are so happy that he's going to be sharing his work and all his insightful resources. So without further ado, Len Simon, welcome back, and take it away. Yes, we
Okay,
can see
well,
both
thank you guys for
screens.
having me back. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Yeah, so had a good time last lecture, talking about character design a little bit. So here I figured we'd just keep going. Let's see. I'm gonna do a fun little exercise with feet, and then we could talk about like the caricaturing little things like hands and feet. You all can draw a footprint, I assume. Uh, so for me, how I learned how to draw feet is like if I have a plane here, you can actually draw footprints on that plane. If you could draw footprints, you can draw feet. So just by taking uh, that footprint, now I have a silhouette to work from, working from, in essence, the ground up. So basically, I took my footprint, and then you can work your heel into that, and then work out where my toes go. And it's on that plane. Um, so it's just a really easy exercise. And basically, it shows if you can draw a footprint, you can draw a foot. To caricature somebody is you look at the proportions and you just push those. So we just did some designs for Bill. One of them we're doing a John Goodman type character. Uh, like with him, we had his head, and then I actually pushed the shape of his body. He's a big fella, so like I pushed those proportions, uh, and then I'll actually show you where some of the stuff comes from. But to have a proportion like this, uh, I'm still looking at designs here, like a straight in the back, curve in the front. You still have a chest area, shoulders, and then I got shorter legs, but I'm working a design in there that gives me some cool balance. I'm not just doing something that's generic. Um, if I were to go and profile, um, just a stout person, and this isn't necessarily John Goodman, but there's anatomy. You have the shoulders here, they're going to the shoulder blade, your chest area. You have an angle uh, where your hip is, and then you have certain shapes and designs here. Like here I got an S shape for the leg, has a curvature, which gives me overall a nice line of action. I got my bum, I got a straight in the back, curve on the front. On the bottom of the leg, I have a curve, straight in the front, curve on the back. So I have opposing designs, which is sort of appealing. Now I could take this same design and I can really push it and say, okay, well, if I make the body here a little bit bigger, now just by having the same logic, I've actually gave myself an interesting design. So you got the curves and straights, and you're just playing with those proportions until you get something that's sort of appealing. Um, so that's normally how I work that. You can go really skinny and do the same sort of thing. Uh, I mean, so those are three different proportions. Necessarily what you do with on the outside, but internal silhouette. You have a shape, and then it's the contrast of what's on the interior that is what makes that read. Radigan was a cool character that you could really push the envelope with the design and the poses and stuff, and come up with some really fun stuff. Um, but yeah, again, silhouette is very important. So if you have a character uh, that you want to be very readable, uh, sometimes it's that silhouette that really makes that character uh, who that character is. Um, so if you have a lanky character like this, um, you got some cool proportions. Like it's pretty clear who that character is going to be once you establish a design. If he walks into the room, like that's a very clear and concise silhouette. Um, and then his buddy down here, small legs, remind me of Yogi Bear. Okay, let's address the eyes. Okay, let's look at eyes. Um, a big issue that I always run across are what I call dead eyes. You have eyes with the pupils in the middle of the eyes like that. There's sort of no focus. Uh, it may as well be a dead character. There's no real appeal to it. Again, if you look at, I'll try to put it in perspective to another character maybe that we're familiar with. Um, oh, okay. I'm going to go back to Fred Flintstone. Uh, Fred has his two eyes really close together. When you do eyes that are looking at the camera or they're in the middle, like everything's even, it just feels flat and dead. Normally, what I will do um, in the eye design, uh, when possible, is to try to anchor one of the eyes at least. So if I have a character, he's looking towards the camera. Two things I do is I try not to have circular pupils. Try to oval them a little bit. And then by anchoring one to the side of your eye here, you have a little bit more appeal as opposed to having dead circle eyes. It almost seems like he's hypnotized or zombified or something. Um, one just is a little bit more appealing. Um, so I always try to anchor one of them. Uh, if you anchor both, then you get this cross-eyed looking thing, which can also sort of be goofy. Now, one of the other things that helps when I'm doing eye direction is using an X or an arrow to help with your eye direction. In doing that, you can always make sure that your character is looking where you need him to look. Um, so I'll actually put little X's where I want the character to be looking. That usually helps with eye direction. So if I want to look up here, and notice I do a lean with my eyes. So instead of just having the eyes sort of flat, like what I do is I raise up one of my eyes and I have a slight lean going in the direction where I want the character to look. And then for balance, usually do things like for design, you squash the one part here and then relax the other side. So you have a nicer design at the same time. Um, it's a little bit nicer than having this everything even and you're looking over here, like having just a little bit of a lean. Helps that look a little bit. Um, and then if you're looking from one direction to the other,
And
more questions?
it's about 5:25. So at this point, we're going to close up for today. But we wanted to thank you so much for coming back for part 2 of your master lecture. And of course, everyone here now is thanking you for a great session. If you can see in the chat area.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me again.
All right. On behalf of Virtual Animators, take care.